Right, so last week we had the Level Up Your Game 1 objectives, and I basically just explained how the promo works, and we just kind of briefly skimmed through all of these objectives. But this time round, we all know how the promo works. We are going to go over each of these Level Up Your Game 2 objectives with every single player, and obviously just skip to the part of video, maybe where I'm talking about your player, what you could be doing wrong, and essentially how to do every single one of these objectives. There'll be a couple tips at the end as well, but the recap for how it works, if you don't know already, go watch last week's video on the Level Up Your Game 1 objectives and just more so explaining the concept of a promo. It's a pretty easy concept. All of these level up cards, or most of them anyway, are available in packs. I think there's a couple in SBCs and there's one that you can get in objectives being Jimenez, but most of these are in packs. After you unlock these base level up rated cards, you can go ahead and use them to upgrade, complete these objectives and get their better ones. That's basically the concept of it, similar to play to style, except a lot more players in packs this time that you can buy off the market. So starting from the best, working our way down, I've got Level Up Leon Goretzka. Now I assume this card will be available on the market, right? I doubt I'd make a Goretzka SBC. So Leon Goretzka's 96 rated card is currently extinct, but yes, he's tradable on the market, currently extinct at 2.9 million coins. So if you're lucky enough to pack him or rich enough to buy him, you can score in 25 separate matches using the 96 overall Level Up Goretzka on at least semi-pro rivals or FUT champs, whilst having at least 8 German players in your starting lineup. Pretty easy, 25 separate matches you need to score with Goretzka. When it comes to the at least 8 German, Goretzka does count towards that German player, so it's Goretzka and 7 other Germans in your starting 11. So you need a pretty full-on German squad. I would have thought they'd made it 5 or 6 players, but no, you need 8 Germans in the starting 11. We've got Level Up RAPHAЕL VARANE, play 25 separate matches on at least semi-pro, whilst having 95 Level Up Varane and at least 7 French players. Pretty easy concept, play 25 matches, Varane and 6 other French players at the absolute minimum in the starting 11. You've got scoring 20 separate matches using 94 overall Martinelli. We absolutely love this card as an Arsenal fan. Once again, semi-pro rivals FUT champs whilst having at least 8 Brazilian players. There's no like special objectives that we've got to do yet, it's simply just play matches or score goals with that said player. Martinelli and 7 other Brazilians at the minimum. That's 8 all up, easy. Now I've got Level Up Chouameni. Now this card is the exact same as Enzo Fernandez's, alright? We've got assists in 20 separate matches, and you've got whilst having 94 overall Level Up Chouameni and exactly 6 French players. Now 2 things to say on this one. You do not have to assist with Chouameni, you just need Chouameni in your squad and exactly 6 French players as well. And that's right, it says exactly, so you need Chouameni, that's 1, and only 5 other Frenchmen. If you've got Chouameni and 6 other Frenchmen, that will not count, that's 7 Frenchmen, and this objective will not work. And I think they did this for Werner last time. They just say exactly 6 German players, and that's where everyone went wrong, okay? You need exactly 6 French players. So, Chouameni and 5 others, no more, no less. Once again, do not actually have to assist with Chouameni, just have him, because it says whilst having him in the squad. We've got Ferran Torres, who is available via SBC. We've got assists in 20 separate matches using the 93 overall Ferran Torres, whilst having at least 6 Spanish players in your starting 11, easy. Score in 15 separate matches using Darwin Núñez, whilst having exactly 4 Premier League players in your starting 11. Once again, Darwin Núñez, 91 overall, and 3 other Premier League players, no more, no less. It has to be exactly 4 Prem players. Assist 15 through balls with 92 overall Level Up Ital in squad battles on at least semi-pro rivals champs. Probably the easiest one because you could probably get this done in maybe 1 or 2 matches. Semi-pro, play a poor team, and you can just have Ital, play him at striker if you want to, and just get those through ball assists. Probably the easiest objective here. If you are not sure on how to do a through ball, here is a little example. To perform a through ball assist, all you have to do is press triangle on the PlayStation. If you are on Xbox, then it would be Y, and all you gotta do is do the rest with the person you pass to and hope you score. Moving down to the easier ones, we have got Thiago Giallo, concede no more than 3 goals per match in 10 separate games, whilst having 90 overall Giallo in your starting 11. So you're just going to have to play matches, concede no more than 3 goals, which means your opponent cannot score any more than 3 goals. No other requirements other than just having his 90 overall rated. For Berardi, we've got score in 10 separate matches using the 91 overall Berardi and at least 5 Italian players in your starting 11. Malin is score in 10 separate matches using obviously the 91 Malin, whilst having at least 5 Dutch players in your starting 11. Score using defenders in 5 separate squad battle matches, rivals or FUT champs, whilst having 91 overall level up Kalulu and at least 3 French players. So at least 3 French players. Once again, pretty easy. You only need Kalulu, 2 other Frenchmen. The scoring goals with defenders part is definitely the more tricky part of this objective. If you are doing this in squad battles, I'd recommend simply just throwing your right back or your left back up at striker, getting them and then moving them back down. That is if you're doing it in squad battles and you can afford to do that against a relatively poor team. We've got 4 more to go here. We've got assists using a cross in 5 separate matches using 92 overall Thiago Henrique and at least 3 Brazilian players. Here is how you can assist with a cross, or maybe what you're doing wrong and why your assist with a cross is not counting. If I had $1 for every time someone said, Davis, my crosses are not counting, I'd probably have like $50. The reason your crosses will not be counting, and I struggled with this as well, is because EA will be counting it as a lob pass instead of a cross. As you can see, Abedi Pele and Del Piero, the distance between them is not much whatsoever. So by pressing square, which is what you'd usually do for a cross, or X if you're on Xbox, instead of it counting as a cross, it is going to count as a lobbed pass instead. Now the solution to this is simple. All you have to do is get further away. Sure, it's going to be a whole lot harder, but I guess that is what makes a difference between a cross and a lobbed pass. My rule of thumb is if you are taking the cross from outside of a box, and obviously you're either headering it or volleying it with a player inside the box, if you cross it from outside the box, then that will 100% count as a cross. And vice versa for a lob pass. If you're too close, it will count as a lob pass. If you're further away, it will count as a cross. So hopefully this has solved your issue. Good luck and have fun trying to get those crosses. We've got Level Up Raul Jimenez, who is actually another objective available right now. We've got score a fitness shot in 5 separate matches on at least semi-pro. Once again, rivals champs with 91 Level Up Raul Jimenez. Exactly 5 Premier League players. You will get yourself a 1 of 3 action shot choice, Raul Jimenez. So it looks like you can choose which card you upgrade him to. That's pretty cool. So obviously you got to complete these objectives first for Jimenez, which we will cover in a separate video, because we don't want this one to be too long. But after you do those objectives, and as I said, if you are stuck, then check out my video on that, which will be out shortly after this. You have to go in and score a finesse shot in 5 separate matches with that Jimenez. Here is how to do a finesse shot. To score a finesse shot, all you have to do is press down on the right bumper plus shoot. So R1 plus circle if you are on PlayStation, RB plus B if you are on Xbox. Very self-explanatory. Obviously, whilst pressing this, you are going to want to aim in the direction you want to shoot the ball. And ladies and gentlemen, that is us for today. We've got July 15th and July 16th, so whilst we're here, we'll have a look at them. They're not yet available, but we've got assist in 5 separate matches using 91 overall Martin Terrier, whilst having at least 3 League 1, which is the French League, in brackets FRA1. We've got play 10 separate matches on at least semi-pro, whilst having 91 overall Witzel, and once again, exactly 5 La Liga players, so Witzel, 4 other La Liga players, which is the top Spanish division. I've got 2 tips I want to leave you guys, and tip number 1 is going to be, if you do pack several of these cards, try and double them up. For example, some of them you can't double up, but let's say you've got a Berardi. You need at least 5 Italian players, so score in 10 separate matches with at least 5 Italian players. You can write that down, and then let's say you also get Malin. You could also do him, have 5 Italian, 5 Dutch players in the squad at the same time, get goals with Malin and Berardi. You are doubling them up. Obviously, it depends on the players you pack, and not all cards you can double up. Like some of them, for example, Goretzka requires 8 Germans. In fact, you could actually do 8 Germans in your lineup, and if you are lucky enough to get Goretzka, then you could go ahead and look for at least 3 Brazilians. Henrique, you could do Henrique, and Goretzka at the same time. Obviously it depends who you pack, but that is the biggest tip. Have a look at both of the objectives and see if it is possible to build a squad and chip away at both of them within the same time. That will save you a lot of time. And the second tip is the squad battles tip. Now I go over this all the time, we know how it works, but we'll do a quick 1-minute run through. You're given 4 teams every single selection. As you can see, we've got a couple high rated ones here, but we've got some absolutely awful ones right here. A 55 rated, 4 chemistry. We can go ahead, we need to play it on at least semi-pro is what all of these objectives are asking for. Play that on semi-pro. You'll be able to absolutely batter this 10-15-0. It will make getting objectives so much easier, and the beauty of it is after you've done playing that game, the option's not there for me right now, but after you play a game, the option will be there by pressing square on PlayStation or X on the Xbox to refresh your opponents, and you can play the worst team, refresh, play the worst team, refresh, play the so on and so forth. It's basically infinite easy games. Lads, any further questions, make sure to let me know, and hopefully if you did get a player, maybe you were stuck on him as a specific player, hopefully when I did get to it, it did help you guys out. Any questions, let me know. It's been your boy Davis, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.